For $60, I don't know how busy I want to get.
If you say I'm walking here loud enough.
So, my friend hit it with a car. We here at Off the Air are pretty proud of our scorchingly hot takes that some haters would call a lukewarm take or even a cold take at many times.
What do you mean we?
I don't know that I want to back you on
you
this.
brought up the Wii.
Okay, okay.
The Nintendo Wii.
Yeah, neither Dan or myself were braced on the Wii.
Yeah.
I just thought that maybe you were with me since you both have had your fair share of, like, scaldingly bad takes in the past.
I said nothing wrong ever in my life.
As have
Functionally a genius when it comes to takes.
Okay.
Honestly, I agree with Jackson. Jackson is basically a genius when it comes to takes.
Well, you know what? Maybe you're agreeing with Jackson right now, but you'll both be agreeing with me in a second. I can promise you that.
Okay.
I think
Go off, King.
2022 is the year that we all finally admit it, right? We all finally
just say it.
We're just donuts, man. What the fuck is up with that? They suck ass. No one likes donuts. Anyone who likes a donut is just a literal child. We can all move on from the death grip donuts have on society, right?
I feel like it wasn't even like more than a month ago that I talked about donuts.
Of all the things to talk about, I didn't see this one coming. I'll be honest with you. This was unexpected.
I'm just saying, donuts are like a food for a baby. What do you need? You need bread with sugar on it? Eat regular bread. Eat a bagel.
Wow. What a take. What a bold and unabashed take. I respect your commitment. I do. Unfortunately, what I don't respect is you or this take.
You know what? I should have seen this coming since you're a sugar baby who only can eat sweet things.
That is correct. I do prefer sugary sweet things, and I think that's okay. I think I'm allowed.
I'm better than you.
You know what? That's fair.
I can't keep this going. I'm sorry. Shout out to Rob for the most deranged Facebook post yesterday. As of recording. Jackson, Dan, here, let me give you some context here. Rob just posted that donuts suck, and I can't wrap my mind around the concept of just like saying, nah, man, donuts, no thank you.
I'm good with donuts, thanks, though. Yeah, that really is just like a...
It's such it's a wild line in the sand. And Jackson, you messaged him about it, didn't you?
No, I hung out with him last night, and I was just like, we were just like playing a game. I was like, hey, what's up with the donut posting? And it was clarified that he wanted, because on the weekends typically he and his dad go to a bagel place, and that's nearby, and they give bagels and like a breakfast.
Yeah.
But the bagel place was closed, so they got donuts that were mid.
Oh.
And
so
I can
my
fully
boy
agree.
really be out here having mediocre donuts and blaming all donuts.
Yeah, I mean, but not, because if you like donuts, that means you probably like mid donuts.
I do like mid donuts.
I do not.
Dunkin' Donuts is pretty all right.
I feel like for me, a donut has got to be, the bar is high.
What is the best?
And like a great donut is amazing. Like a 6 out of 10 donut is functionally a 0. It's a waste for me.
What is the best donut place? Like donut chain?
Here's the thing though, like I don't like a lot of donut
usually.
chains.
No, I don't. I would agree. I think that donut chains are like by the nature of the beast inferior to like donut shops.
There's a chain in Michigan called Cops and Donuts. That's pretty good.
That sounds pretty great.
There's also a chain in Texas that's called Shipley's. That's pretty good. But they're like really good if you like the Krispy Kreme style donut, like that fluffy light glazed donut, which I'm not a fan of.
Don't care.
I'm not a fan of it. It's just not my favorite.
See, I'm a big cruller guy. I love a cruller.
Oh.
I love a sour cream donut. I love a blueberry donut.
I love a blueberry donut. I think Dunkin' discontinued them. That or they've been having a shortage for the last like 6 months because I haven't been able to get one, and it is unironically ruined my Dunkin' Donuts experiences.
I think
I love a good spice donut.
Here's some of the issue with like chain donuts, right? Because Krispy Kreme, at least they make theirs on site.
Yeah, Dunkin' absolutely does not.
Because I know.
No way in hell, yeah.
Tim Hortons doesn't. Dunkin' doesn't. They get them frozen and they just like poof them and cook them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing about Tim Hortons. Like their donuts, I think, are not worth getting.
No.
But their coffee is actually good.
Honestly.
But their specialty coffee, like their lattes and stuff, are ass.
Yes.
So it's like their donuts are not good. Their espresso and espresso drinks are not good. even like they're just iced drinks are not good. But their hot coffee is probably the best you can get at a chain.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really frustrating because they have one thing, but it's actually really good. Like, I would rather have a Tim Hortons like house roast than most any Starbucks blend.
I think that's fair.
It's just like really good. But that's the only thing they have that I would take over anything else from somewhere.
Because I'm trying to think of the last Tim Hortons donut I had, and I will admit
Timbits are good.
Timbits are fun.
But they're different. They're built different.
Exactly.
Because it's donut holes and I have different standards.
Yeah, no, a donut hole is a very simple thing for me to enjoy versus a whole ass donut. But I will say, my standards for donuts do drop as soon as a filling is introduced. So a custard donut,
I hate you.
A Bavarian cream, a jelly filled, I will eat a mid filled donut.
No.
Far sooner than I will eat a other donut.
Hold up. I may like super disagree, or I think, are you talking about the filling also being mid, or just the donut part?
No. The donut can be a borderline stale donut if the filling is good. I will give it a pass.
Okay, I can agree then. I thought you meant that like you would take bad filling. I was like, the filling makes it, because like a Boston cream with like a weird like gelatinous filling is the worst. Even if the donut part was amazing.
I hate that so much. I can't remember.
Right, as long as you agree the filling is like really important.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, it sounds bad. But as long as the filling is good, I can agree that I can excuse stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but like a bad jelly, one of the worst donuts possible. Sorry, Dan, what'd you say?
No, I can agree with this. Like this makes sense to me.
Because like also like a bad jelly that has too much icing on top. Because I don't mind a glazed filled donut. I think that's fun. But sometimes they try and cover up the fact that their filling is mid at best by like putting a half inch of icing on the top. And that's not okay. Or maybe
that sounds bad.
Like, have you ever, I think this was just like a specialty thing that one place did for like a certain donut. It's not a common thing. But have you ever had like a jelly filled with a chocolate top?
I feel like I have to have seen it, but I usually dodge the jelly filled if I had to pick a filling tier list.
That's fair. I love jelly filled, and so I got it with the chocolate top, and it was not a good combination. I think it was just like the usual strawberry filling with chocolate, which I think it could have been good, but neither of them were good enough to stand up on their own for me to actually enjoy it, you know?
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I had I feel like custard filling is my favorite if we're sticking with the filled. But I mean, I feel like if I get a half dozen donuts, I probably get 2 filled, 4 not.
Yeah. No,
I feel like there was a time where I was the other way around, but I've recently been like, you know what? I can appreciate a little not dry donut, but a donut without liquid.
Yeah.
You know, I can have not dry. It's got to be moist. It's got to be like, you know, nice and like soft and moist. It can't be like, you know, actually dry. But I don't necessarily always need the fluids. You know, I don't need the jellies.
You don't need the juice.
Yeah, I don't need the juice.
What is it that I've been recently getting into like other types of donuts too, like bear claws and whatever those ones that have like apple fritters. Fritters.
You know,
fritters are good.
I sleep on them, honestly.
Fucking love fritters.
Oh, yeah. Jackson, you're missing out. I'm with Dan on this one. No. Fritters are the bomb. Only if, I will say though, only if they got chunks of fruit in them. If they're just another yeasted pastry that I have to enjoy, and they don't have the fruit chunks, they're a little bit of a chore because the fruit chunks wake the whole thing up and make it moist enough for me to just like really love.
I think the fruit chunks like a fritter has its time for me, but if I get a dozen donuts, I maybe get a fritter.
No, that's fair because I get a fritter as my donut purchase. I don't know that I would get a fritter in a box of donuts, you know? Because if I'm getting a box of donuts, I'm getting it for other people, and I'm not going to pick out donuts that I especially want. Because then I'll be sad if someone else eats them.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm just going to get like a good selection of like donuts that I enjoy. So whenever I'm stuck with like 5, I'll still be happy.
Yeah. See, I was going off of like if I get a dozen and then eat them. I see how we have different. Because like in my theory, I'm not giving them away. I'm just going to like probably eat like 6 today, 6 tomorrow, and then not have donuts for 3 months.
I have been
because that's how I do with donuts. I usually like don't eat them for a long time, and then I'll just go get like 6 donuts, and then I'll eat them. Then
I've been trying to curb my impulsive snack consumption in that way.
That's really fair.
So I also would do that realistically, but also if I was going to do that, I would probably load up on custard donuts and not fritters because I'm a short-sighted person who would be like, what if I ate 12 custard donuts?
I recently had last time I had donuts, which was probably 2 months ago now.
Yeah.
I got like 6 donuts from where did I get them? Oh, from this place called H&K in Erie.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like super like 70s. When you go inside, like it's just super like diner.
Oh, I'd love to see it.
Like it's classic donut shop. And I got they had one that was a peanut butter frosting filled donut with a chocolate glaze.
Nice.
Ooh.
And it was the best donut I've ever had, and I wasn't expecting it. It was definitely like very peanut butter forward, but I just like the frosting was like pretty thick. And like in a good way, it wasn't like fluffy or airy. It was like a dense like peanut butter,
I like that.
and it had like the chocolate icing.
That sounds so tasty.
Yeah, it was very good.
I think peanut butter donuts can be a little hit or miss for me. Because sometimes the peanut butter just like hits in a weird way. I don't know how to describe it. But
I don't know necessarily what you mean, but I
think if I tried to describe it, you would sit here and say, Noah, perhaps you're allergic. But I know I'm not.
No, are you allergic to peanuts?
No. I know I'm not, because if I was, I'd be so dead by now. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are a staple of my weekly diet.
You up.
And yeah, you would beat me up. And you'd be right to do so. Here at Off the Air, our official stance is if you have a peanut allergy, maybe just don't.
Brian,
it can't be that hard.
Friend of the show, Brian, does have a massive peanut allergy.
Hey,
I think
friend of the show,
gotta
Brian,
figure that out.
maybe don't.
Figure something out.
Listen, I like the bit. I respect the bit. However, I am not going to ask Brian to fight me. He is much bigger than me. I am small.
I'm going to ask Brian to fight
it's not even about fighting. It's just ask him to figure something out.
Brian and I will meet in the middle. I'll be like, Brian, I don't know how you do it, but I'll eat enough peanuts to make up for you. And he'll say, I never asked you to do that. But then I'll say, but you can fight Dan because he said, hey, Brian, because you can't eat peanuts, you're a big old weenie. Which, that is something that you said.
I did say.
You did say that.
Mm-hmm.
I just think there should be a cure.
A cure for peanut allergies?
Yeah. It's got to be like one of the most debilitating allergies. Because like, it's never like,
bad.
Hey, can you not put any peanuts in my smoothie? Instead, it's like, hey,
can you not have peanuts in the?
I died.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can you not have peanuts in any of the like 5 districts around me?
And I will die.
Honestly, it's one of those things where I'm surprised that allergies are not a thing that we have been able to like medically figure out.
We have
as like a cure type of thing.
I was say, haven't we though?
There's like somewhat long-term cures for certain allergies.
Yeah, because you can get allergy shots for like pets and stuff. And if you get regular allergy shots, there's stuff that you can do. But then there's other things where it's like to help you with peanut allergies, it would be like, well, you can be in the same room as a peanut again. However, if you ate one, you will still die.
I think maybe like the whole same room as, I mean, clearly it's not the air that does it. I think that's a little bit on the rest of us for like
being so dirty that peanuts are everywhere.
Up. No, we don't just take a peanut and like eat it. We're like, I'm going to crunch these bad boys on the floor. I'm going to crush these things up and throw them around as an ice cream topping. Like, they kind of get everywhere the way that we use them half the time.
That's extremely fair, and I think it's a good read.
And if you're incredibly allergic and you take a deep breath of like air that has peanut clusters fucked around in it, then you're probably going to be like, I'm dying. And I think that you should, not do that.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember.
In fact, I think you should get over it, but I just, that's not how that works.
What was the restaurant that they would serve you endless peanuts? Not Five Guys.
Country Roadhouse.
Yeah, and then you would just dump your shelled peanuts on the floor, and that was the gimmick.
Yeah, I think it was Texas Roadhouse. I don't know they can't do that anymore. There's no way.
No, there's no way. I remember trying to put as many peanut shells on the floor as possible, and someone kept coming around and like picking them up. And eventually my mom, like, I have this memory of my mom asking me to stop, but I remember her saying, throw them on the floor when you're done. And I don't remember if this is a fake memory that I have in my mind. Like, maybe I just dreamed this. Or if, like, she actually did tell me you can do it, but then maybe she was misinformed and then was trying to get me to stop, but I was a child, so I didn't.
You know, here's what I think happened, given my read of the situation. I think what your mom meant when she said, stop, put them on the floor when you're done, is eat the peanut, put the shell on the floor. I think 5-year-old Noah had a hoard on the table that he was trying to dump in a big pile.
No. I was definitely like eating them and trying to throw as many on the floor as possible.
What do you mean
I was eating so many peanuts just to dump them on the floor. I remember I put peanuts and butter on a roll to try and make peanut butter because in my mind that's how it worked, because
kinda.
You put words together. And I remember being disappointed at how it tasted.
Yeah, but were you putting the shells on the floor every time you ate a peanut?
Yes.
Or were you eating you weren't eating 12 peanuts and then putting a handful of shells on the floor?
No, I was eating a peanut and putting it on the floor. Floor.
Maybe your mom meant to eat a whole bunch of peanuts and put the shells in the basket thing they had and then dump it.
Yeah, I have
maybe
no
the
idea.
opposite.
One of these days I should probably connect with her about this story and figure it out, but most likely what will end up happening is I'm going to get a text from her later this week and she'll be like, LOL, that story about the peanuts was so funny. I don't remember that happening.
That seems right.
And then she'll be like, can you tell Jackson to stop swearing and talking about weed on the podcast? It's a crime. Yeah, that's fair.
So true.
No, that's fair. No, that's fair.
No, that's correct.
That's a good idea, actually. That's accurate.
We should stop admitting to crimes on the podcast.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never admitted to crime in my life.
I remember being with Noah earlier when he was committing a crime of poaching when we were fishing. We went fishing today, and that's how I'm working into the podcast. Noah didn't poach anything. I just figured we needed to get to a different segment.
Nice. I liked it.
I could have been poaching though. I was ready to poach the shit out of a blue heron that was gonna try and fight us.
We almost got attacked by a heron.
Yeah.
Rad.
Oh yeah, this dude comes up and he's strutting his stuff on the shore, and we're like, oh cool, there's a heron right there. That's really neat. And then he came out on the pier that we were on, and we're like, oh, he's kind of coming up on us. That's pretty neat.
Lord, he coming.
And we got some pictures and it was fun. And then there was another one on the second pier over. And then they met in the middle and they fought, and our guy came back and he did not win.
Oh my god.
And he just sat with us dejected on the pier.
Yeah, and we're both sitting there looking at him like, well, he just got in a fight. Are we in danger? We could be in danger.
How pissed off is this creature?
Yeah.
And but yeah, you can see, I just put the picture in the Discord, I think, did I?
I heard the ping.
No, I just direct messaged it to Noah. Why would I have done that? Why would I direct message the picture about the thing we're talking about? I think that's just what I had open last because I just messaged Noah earlier. But anyway.
Here, I have
that's
the picture of Jackson taking that picture also.
Oh, nice.
Look at him go. He's so mad.
Yeah, he was he was huffing and puffing.
Yeah, dude was pissed. He was doing the broke wing shuffle on his way over to fight the other one.
That's amazing.
And I don't know what happened, but it clearly worked against him because the other guy showed up and he's like, "All right, cool, I'm gonna fuck you up now."
Okay, they jumped around for a second and then both went their separate ways. It's not like it was a crushing defeat.
Crushing defeat. Blood.
It was neither
everywhere.
a crushing defeat nor a bloodbath. It was like two birds went and they walked away from each other.
Sounds about right. I can't believe you witnessed crime.
Yeah, you can see in the picture that I sent that we were out on a pier and then there's a little there's a walkway, a boat launch, and then there's a thin little metal bridge that connects that to the part of the pier that's floating. So there's a really thin stretch that the heron was on. So we were effectively trapped out there by this big bird that was making noises and being slightly aggressive. And I feel like it's one of those things where if the heron bit me, you can't really do anything to it.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't just be grab it by its neck and hurt it.
Yeah.
Because then everyone would be like, what the fuck? Why would you do that? And I'd be like, yeah, that's a really good point. Wow. So you just kind of have to let it be as mean to you as it wants to be.
It's kind of like getting attacked by a goose, What are you supposed to do? They're kind of protected. Why geese are protected is beyond me. I hate those dudes.
It's because you hate those dudes, and everyone hates those dudes.
Correct.
If they weren't protected, they'd be gone.
So true. So true.
Everybody would be fucking them up.
In a heartbeat. Did I ever tell you guys this was a friend of mine, not me, but a friend of mine one time was on his way to work and he hit a seagull.
Okay.
Yeah. The seagull was just in the road, driving along, minding your own business, and it was so busy eating the garbage in the middle of the road that it didn't get out of the way. So my friend hit it with a car.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know if the seagull died or not, but
I mean, probably. There's a fine. There's fines for that.
That's what my friend found out. Got to work, told the coworkers about it, and they're like, maybe you shouldn't say that. You could get charged at least $5,000 for that, probably more. My friend was shocked.
Yeah, your friend was. I'm not surprised. I'd be shocked if I were your friend.
Right? Yeah. Because in my mind, if that were to happen to me, it would be like, well, it was an accident. I didn't swerve to hit it.
Of course. But clearly that's not how it works.
Oh, okay. You meant like if you were to be the one who hit the seagull. I thought you meant if you were to have gotten hit by a car. And I was like, I mean, yeah, because you're a little bit more responsible for your own well-being than a seagull is,
Mm-hmm.
So if you got hit by a car, I'd be like, yeah, that's on him.
That's correct.
Like, no, why are you eating garbage in the road?
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you gotta hustle. You gotta be on that grind set.
I mean, you can eat garbage in the road, but like, you gotta get out of the way when cars come.
Actually, as a pedestrian, I do have eternal right of way in city roads.
That's so brave.
If I'm in a crosswalk, I'm pretty sure it's just if I'm in a crosswalk. Man, jaywalking sucks ass. It's stupid as hell that that's a crime.
I've never seen anybody actually get in trouble for it in my entire life.
I feel like
it's a selectively enforced law.
Yeah, I feel like anytime it gets enforced,
it's for some other reason.
You probably they probably did it in a shitty way.
Yeah.
No, usually it's not. It is not enforced against white people as levelly as it is enforced against other people.
I can fully imagine that, but isn't that how the entire book of law works?
Yes, correct. Like all laws.
Yes, like all laws, but it's one of those ones where it's like especially so. Like you're either a drunk college kid who you're disturbing the peace, or you are simply a person crossing the street who is not white.
Yeah, but if you're a drunk college kid disturbing the peace, that's going to be a series of other infractions.
Yeah,
and then you're also probably jaywalking like a motherfucker. You're probably jaywalking like an idiot.
Hey, why wouldn't you be? Like, you're a drunk college kid. The world is your oyster.
But like, yeah, I feel like the only time people probably, I don't know how often they actually charge anyone with jaywalking, because I feel like if you just show up to court and say, "Hey, I didn't do it," they'll probably be like, "Okay, can you give us $12?"
Actually,
like I can't imagine the jaywalking board is like
super hardcore.
We're gonna see if we can't put this guy down.
Throw the book at him.
I want to fucking see this guy die. But yeah, I feel like it's got to just be if you jaywalk in the dumbest way possible. Because I've never in my life been like, I want to cross these like 5 lanes of traffic. Let me just not look and see if there's actively a cop right there or cars coming. And if you don't do one or the other, how are you even jaywalking?
So speaking of go to court and fight it because what cop is going to show up to your jaywalking case?
Yeah, in the event that like, what could the fee possibly like? What are they charging for jaywalking these days?
I wanna do. We're gonna do a quick coworker shout out here. Our security guard who got pulled over for speeding, and he is of the opinion he was not speeding.
Of course,
but he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go to court. I'm gonna fight it. The cop never shows up to court, so I'll just go in. And he didn't get the case dismissed, So he shows up day of, and there's like 20 cops there. He happened to have his case scheduled on the day that a bunch of cops had to be there for various other things, so his guy was there.
That's really funny.
He's sitting there waiting through like 6 or 7 cases of the judge being like, all right, the defendant did not show up, sending out different like decisions based on the defendant not showing up. And the security guard shows up and he's like, hey, I'm here. I wasn't speeding. I'm here to contest it. And the cop was just basically like, yeah, you were speeding. And the judge was like, all right, you were speeding. Here's your big old ticket. Get out of here. And he was so mad about that. I cannot explain how annoyed this man was that night when he came in, talking about how he's just a He's just trying to do the right thing. He actually showed up. Why are they throwing the book at him if he's trying to do the right thing?
Okay,
this man was
were they throwing the book at him, or were they throwing a speeding ticket at him?
Speeding ticket at him, firstly. But this man, literally, this dude, he's like, he stopped wanting to be a cop because of this.
That's amazing.
Instead, he's gonna be a prison guard.
That's incredible.
It's like, dude, what the hell?
I didn't believe in ACAB until I got a speeding ticket and that fucking cop showed up.
So funny. He's like, dude, cops suck. I don't know what the hell was going on with that.
Yeah, they really do, man.
My guy,
My brother
really do. Just speeding, and then when you got there, he had his radar data. That's all.
Like you told me, you got pulled over for speeding. You went to the court and you said I wasn't speeding, and the cop said you actually speeding. Here's the proof because I used my speedometer to see if you were speeding before I pulled you over for speeding.
I can't remember.
Which, by the way, they don't always do.
No, yeah.
So if you do get a speeding ticket, they don't always have that data. So don't admit to speeding until you're until you're presented with data. Don't admit to it.
Correct.
Never fucking talk to cops ever.
No, never
at all.
There's
unless it's answering a direct question in the line of a detainment. Let's say, for example, you're pulled over.
Mm-hmm.
They answer direct questions only with things that aren't incriminating. Don't talk to them. They do no good.
Correct.
Yeah, nope. Co-sign that one.
And especially if you were jaywalking, never admit to it.
Never admit
also,
to it.
just be like, you pulled me over for jaywalking? How did you pull me over? I'm walking.
Or you could just say, jaywalking here.
That's true.
And
that
then
is
the Seinfeld
actually
theme plays so loud that they actually can't hear you anymore and you can get away.
Mm-hmm. If you say, hey, I'm walking here, that actually does make you exempt from any charges related to jaywalking.
Yeah, the take is just, if you say I'm walking here loud enough.
Hey. Yeah, then you're immune. They can't prosecute you because you said it.
You did the bit.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking amazing.
What was it? I recently learned that the "Hey, I'm walking here" line in that one movie was an ad-libbed line because the guy was almost hit by a taxi in New York because they couldn't afford to shut the street down for the movie.
Amazing.
So in the middle of their monologue, the man legitimately almost is hit by a taxi. So he goes, "Hey, I'm walking here," and the guy yells back, and that's like an actual interaction that they kept in the movie because it was the best take and all that. I don't know. I just think that that's really funny. I did not know that was like that until recently.
Honestly, a gift.
I am walking here.
Would Christopher Walken be like?
Dude, I think he probably does be walking wherever he goes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, what possibly... I wonder how much they charge for jaywalking. If it's more than like $100, I'm losing my mind.
Let's see.
Jaywalking ticket in Las Vegas.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, I can see jaywalking in Las Vegas being a thing they actively enforce.
Though. Oh, in Pennsylvania, there are no laws against jaywalking explicitly.
Oh, all right. Well,
but in New York, I think it's up to $250.
Such a
that's pretty
amount.
high, but that's maximum. So I suppose if you're being like the biggest jaywalking asshat, because sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. There are moments when, especially on State Street in Erie, people will just be like, I would like to walk right now.
Yeah, right.
As there's not only you, but 12 other cars coming in both directions, and they just start going.
Yeah, I get you.
I guess for New York, the NYPD has been doubly cracking down on it. So it's become a point of contention in recent years. Luckily, we live in good old Pennsylvania, where we can do whatever we want, like walk in the street.
Not whatever.
I think you can still get in trouble if you get hit by a car. Is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's the vehicle code thing. Though I think that's separate. Where it's if you're walking out in the street away from a crosswalk and you get struck by a vehicle, you're kind of the one at fault. But I don't know how it factors into insurance and whatnot. And car insurance is dumb as hell.
The pits.
It's like all insurance. Since I've had my car, I've probably paid $10,000 just in car insurance, and I've never once gotten a penny back. And if I were to have something happen that I need to claim for insurance, I bet you they're not going to give me $10,000.
Probably not.
Probably not, yeah. So
it's almost like if I would have set that money aside, I would be better off.
One thing that I have noticed, though, is that my insurance payments have been going down very steadily recently, and I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, you're getting older.
Yeah, okay, that too.
That's definitely the reason. Yeah, that's literally the exact reason.
Yeah, that's one of the big reasons, at least. Well, have you gotten in like accidents and been ticketed before?
Yeah, before, but not recently.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, yeah, then that's why it'll keep going down because you keep not doing it.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I've never filed like a single insurance claim.
I haven't. I don't even pay for my insurance,
and I still be paying over $100 every month. And I've never made a single claim. I've never been like, hey, I have a minor problem.
I made, when I was working on my senior thesis, somebody was horribly parallel parked and we hit them with our like equipment truck. And so I have had to make a claim before. It was weird. It was a weird sensation having to make a claim on when I've literally have never had insurance, like car insurance in my life.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be weird for me to make a claim, and I've had car insurance for like a decade.
That's fair.
I just like haven't needed it. And I'm sure it'd be nice like when I finally do need it. But like it'd also have been nice to have had all that money in a position where I could have been more like able to use it.
Yeah, 100%.
Because by the time I would buy like a new car, I could have bought a new car.
Yeah.
With the money I paid in insurance that I had never got paid out from. Whatever. Hey, I'm sick of it.
I feel like if more people drove like they didn't have insurance, we'd probably all be a little bit safer.
Fair.
I feel like if more people just drove in a way that was considerate, we'd be a lot safer.
Yeah. Like my stretch of road, it's not a hugely long stretch of road, and people drive down that at like 35 or 40 miles an hour. Speed limit's 25. And it's like, why are you going so fast on this tiny little residential road?
You got like 700 feet on that thing. Why are you flying? Where are you going, buddy?
Like, sure, there's not a stop sign on my corner. You can technically go straight through that, but I don't trust the people coming on the other sides. The number of times they've almost T-boned me because they decided not to stop at their stop sign. Nah, man.
Yeah, when I'm like coming out from a 3-way stop, I at least slow down if I don't have to stop.
Yeah, it's just the safe thing to do. Because
a lot of people will assume it's a 4-way stop, or even though it says clearly that it's not, they'll be like,
what if I
don't see any other cars, so I should be allowed to just keep going.
There was a stop sign that I used to drive all the time back when I worked at Chick-fil-A. And when I was getting home at like 11:30, 11:45 at night, you could see the traffic coming from both of the other directions. And the temptation to run that stop sign was so high. I always wanted to do it. But I knew the one night that I did it, I would get smacked by another car because it would be like I wouldn't have checked enough or something like that. So I never did. But I always wanted to. I don't think I've ever run a stop sign intentionally.
Yeah, well, I've definitely not intentionally. And I can't think of any time. I've probably unintentionally. I mean, I can't imagine.
I did 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice. I can't imagine I've never, like, in some parking lot or, missed one. But I've never been like, stop sign, don't care. Because it's not that hard to just care a little bit about something that could kill you.
I'm very glad that I don't drive.
It's not that bad.
People...
You say that, but deer. Every time I get behind the wheel, all I can think about is the fact that I'm sitting behind a fucking 2-ton death machine. And literally the only thing stopping me from killing somebody is like the fact that I didn't accidentally swerve. I don't drive.
It just sounds to me like
once you get used to it, it gets better over time when you feel more.
Yeah.
Everyone says that, and yet I'm okay.
No, I'm not saying that you have to drive. I'm just saying that your concerns sound like a guy who doesn't drive.
That's fair.
And that if you were to drive more, you would definitely get over the weird statement of something 2-ton death machine.
I mean, that's what it is. That's what a car is.
That's not what a car is. A car is a vehicle that runs off a combustion engine to propel people and take them from place to place. It's not a death machine. It can cause death in the same way that so many other things can cause death. That doesn't make it a death machine.
Very true.
An ice cream machine's not a death machine, but if it falls on you, I got some bad news. But it makes ice cream.
I got bad news about what it does with the ice cream, too, actually. Ice cream can be pretty bad for you, too. Maybe an ice cream machine is a death machine.
Your tummy could get so hurt.
So hurt. Man, I scalded my tongue on something yesterday, and I haven't been tasting that great today. So I've been sitting here... Jackson, you already know this because we talked about this a little bit earlier. I had a beer and a shot of Jameson at Irish Fest today, and I'm like, this is delightful. And then I had the Jameson. I'm like, this is delightful. And I'm like, oh shoot, I'm not really picking up any special tasting notes on this. Am I sick? Like, I know I'm sick, but I'm like, is this COVID? Did I lose my taste? Totally forgetting that I had just eaten food that I could taste because the tip of my tongue is so scalded I couldn't taste any of the different things I guess I was supposed to in these drinks. Panicked so much.
I hate when I burn my tongue.
You gain nothing from it. It's just all bad news. And I wish my tongue would reconsider.
When you scratch your upper palate.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh my god, that's so much work. I hate that.
Yeah.
You get like the little flap of skin that's left over.
It's just like the easiest thing to accidentally do, and you're like, well, guess my next 2 days are just gonna be way worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's awful. I hate it. And it's so like, how can we still do that? Like, how are adults being like, I probably won't scratch my upper like palate, and then turns out immediately destroyed the roof of your mouth, just gone.
I usually hit mine with pizza that's like too hot.
Yes.
Yeah. So often it's always pizza too. I don't think. Yeah. Well, it's liquid cheese, I should say, because I scalded my tongue on a Hot Pocket. I'm remembering. And like, it's always a cheese thing, and I'm just not willing to wait until the cheese is an edible temperature. I'm like, 500-degree cheese in my mouth right now, thank you. Can't taste it? Nope. I just want to have it in there.
I, like, anyone who says pizza is their favorite food, that's fine, but, like, no favorite food of mine would damage my mouth so frequently.
Maybe it's because it's my favorite that it damages so frequently because I have it more often.
Maybe. I mean, it's just one of those things where, like, probably 1 every 10 times I have pizza, I'm like, yep, fucked up my mouth.
Yeah, it is frustratingly common.
I burned my mouth on Hot Pockets. I cannot tell you the last time I burned my mouth on a pizza.
Really?
Not burning, like scratching and often burning.
I've never scratched. I cannot ever tell you a time that I scratched my mouth on a pizza. I scratched my mouth on...
eat some sharper pizza toppings.
I scratched my mouth on crackers a lot.
Fair.
Yeah.
Like chips and crackers.
I do smaller bites to try and avoid it, but it's still...
It happens every now and again, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And the worst is the vertical chip.
Yeah. Like
tortilla chip.
Yep, I was about to say tortilla chips. They're the ones that do it.
Oh, they'll just go right up in your gums, like between your teeth, and it's just like, I didn't even know you could put something there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that. I still eat them.
Yeah, I mean, it's never going to stop me. But...
Why wouldn't you? I do love a tortilla chip.
I do too. I feel like I haven't gone to a Mexican restaurant in so long, and just because I mean, like I haven't at least since before the pandemic, and just like sat down and just had like a basket of chips and salsa like at a restaurant. Yeah, like I mean, obviously I've had chips and salsa plenty of times at home in recent years, but like it doesn't hit the same as like the warm chips, the warm salsa. And just like not having to worry about getting any more or like anything else, because you don't have to you can just sit there and snack while the food is made. You don't have to like snack and then make food.
I don't know what it is about restaurant salsa, because like I would be unhappy if I bought a jar of that salsa because it's too liquid, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But getting it at a restaurant, I'm like, this is some of the best salsa. I love this.
I love just being at like a Mexican restaurant and getting salsa.
I haven't taken Nina to any of the local ones yet that are like near me. You want to come with us one of these days? Introduce her.
I mean, I'm down. I've not been either. I mean, I don't really go to Mexican restaurants up around here. I hadn't much since I came back from Texas because it's obviously a changing quality, and it was one of those where like when it's only been like a few weeks and you just lived there, it does not hit very well at all.
Yeah.
And then by the time I probably would have been like, I don't care. Like, it's still good anyway. Maybe not as good, but it doesn't have to be. By the time I got around to that point, it was already like February 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really, Mexican food in the winter aren't exactly something I pair together.
I can understand that.
And then it was March 2020, and I haven't gone since.
Understandable.
But I should.
Dan, when are you coming up so we can introduce Nina to the local Mexican restaurants?
Hopefully in the new year.
There we go.
Going to be coming up around Labor Day, but stuff.
OTA coming up.
Woo!
In the middle of January?
Sure.
Okay. I will whine about it the whole time, just to be clear.
Fine, we'll do one of our other ideas instead. Are you happy?
I'm never happy, but also I just don't like being cold, and I don't think that's unreasonable.
You're putting on a coat.
It would be really funny if we were all just like out in the middle of January on the ice lake,
bundled up,
and just trying to record
January.
Something for no reason outside. Actually, OTA goes ice fishing.
OTA, but it's just outside the air.
And we just sit
outside, and we're just like. I mean, I feel like they owe it for outside today only. And then people will be like, outside the air doesn't make any sense. We're like, yeah, it'll be off the air next week. Get over yourself. It's not that deep.
Outside. See, it's outside, the air, and then we would just talk about how much it hurt to be outside because it's too cold.
And then, like, boat TA doesn't make any sense. Boat the air doesn't make any sense. It's fine. Next week it'll be off the air again. Just cool it.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, at all of our fans who think that our quirked up names are no good, take that.
Yeah, who out here beefing with the quirked up names? Boat TA, I think outside the air would be pretty good. What about one where we just we're all just wearing like the coolest outfits and we're all dressed up like Jesse Pinkman?
Yeah. Graphic tees, like 5XL hoodies.
Really, really big graphic tees, huge jean shorts.
Yeah, Jinkos are not big enough.
Yeah, just like big jean shorts. Like, go to the big and tall and be like, I would like your biggest and tallest jean shorts, please.
And then, like, a 6XL puffy coat.
And they just keep, like, giving me bigger jean shorts. I'm like, I'm sorry, that's not big enough. And then they're like, we're going to have to ask you to leave, sir. And then I leave. But then outside waiting for me, leaning on the side of my car, is Kevin Smith. And he's like, I got some jorts for you.
Holy shit, it's Kevin Smith. Yeah,
Kevin Smith, big jorts. Are you aware? Have you seen Kevin Smith's jorts?
I think this could work out, and I feel like I have. I'm gonna check real quick.
I just googled Kevin Smith big jorts. Oh yeah, those are.
Yep. I've seen those. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to wear.
Man, I love those giant. They're like more like giant capris, if we're being honest.
I mean, I think in nature they are jorts. They're not like they are so large that they aren't anymore.
I love it. Man, look at those. Yeah, we should do that. Yeah. We should do that.
Thank you. This guy loves the Oilers.
Ghost TA.
Ghost TA is a good idea, even though I was attacked by a ghost last week.
Were you?
Oh, yeah, you missed that, Dan.
It was on the episode and everything.
Oh, sorry.
Ghost Encounters.
I don't listen to episodes that I'm not on.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You're a busy man.
I am. The last thing I want is
and I'm sure
it's
weird.
I mean, you could have been here, but we didn't let you. So
yeah, it was bad timing on all of it. I was just excited to hear that we were doing it tonight and not Tuesday.
Me too. You kidding me? God, I was gonna hate the Tuesday edit. Tuesday's the day I do most of my stuff.
I was gonna say, how was I supposed to do fucking Sims 4 stream if it was on Tuesday? If it was gonna be Tuesday?
Oh, that's right. You found a new thing for that.
Yeah, I did. I'm very excited for it. I was before we hopped on. I was customizing it in the background.
Do you have it all working? I'd love to hear about it a little bit.
I don't. Here's the problem: is I don't know if it's working. Right? It's all set up in a way that it should be working correctly. The app I'm using is called Crowd Control. Apparently, a shitload of like major streams and speedruns use it because it has a lot of interaction with like ROMs and some older games like that. Basically, it's just a mod that interfaces with Twitch extension and the Twitch API, wherein the audience can spend bits for. They use coins in the system that can be bought via bits, via subs, and via channel point conversions.
Nice.
Which is fine, very cool. I love it. There are some. The reason that they do it that way, not just have it be like just bit based, is because that way if something doesn't tick over properly, the coins can get refunded, whereas Twitch doesn't allow you to refund bits or anything like that within its thing. But yeah, it basically triggers different effects. The one I'm setting it up for is The Sims, but it has everything from Minecraft to Terraria to Mega Man 7 on the SNES.
That's wild.
To Dark Souls, which I think would be wild. Trying to set it up for Dark Souls would be insane. And
I think I saw a guy do that though, and he had them set up to spawn in other enemies.
Let's see. I don't see a spawn one, but I'm not saying that's not there. I just don't see it on this specific one. And yeah, it like Cuphead has one, Deus Ex, the original one, has one, Minecraft has one, Plants vs Zombies of all things has one.
Plants vs Zombies, man, I miss that game.
I do. I miss that game. I miss the second or third one before they made it shit. And yeah, basically it's set up in a way that like, okay, you throw your coins in and it starts simple as like 250 coins and you add yourself to the family. Add a new random sim with your name appears in the game as a family member. Welcome.
I love that.
All the way to like just full on just kill a sim outright. Just full on commit murder. And then things like, career buffs, game speed changes, money giving and taking away, that kind of thing. And it's just a neat idea. I'm really curious to see how well it works. I think I have everything set up properly. Like the overlay seems to be working correctly. Like everything seems to be fine. It's just I won't know until I get to try it on Tuesday, basically.
Hey, here's hoping. I don't know. It sounds exciting.
I'm really excited. I'm hoping it works well. I will report back next week with how it goes and if it worked properly and if I had to break things and fixing on the fly.
I am unfortunately leaning toward the second option there. I'm sure is what's most likely going to happen.
That is extremely likely. Hurtful, but very likely.
I mean, I hope it doesn't, but I'm just pretty sure.
No, statistically speaking, it's absolutely going to.
Have either of you, by the way, played Graveyard Keeper?
I have a couple hours in it. I played it on stream a little bit. Let's see how many hours. I don't have that many hours. Like 2 hours in it. So I didn't get very far at all.
I'm kind of digging it. It feels like
with
you know how
Graveyard.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you know how in Stardew, you definitely feel like even though the game is like move at your own pace, that you're playing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel any time limits in this game because it's just a 7-day cycle that repeats forever, to the best of my knowledge.
Fair enough.
And I'm just bumbling my way through this, and it's been a really good time. I did think that I accidentally locked myself out of some progress a couple of times now, but I didn't. And it's a good time. I don't know. I'm having fun. I think I put like 10 hours in so far. I have not advanced the main story in a meaningful way, but you'd better believe my graveyard is popping off.
I should play it again.
So are a few other things.
It seemed very much like wow, I just noticed that has a single DLC, and I'm angry.
What is it?
Let me make sure I actually am pulling it up and I'm not just making it up. Oh no, it has a couple of DLC. It has actually like 3 DLCs.
Yeah, because it's Better Save Soul, right?
Yeah, and, that's the one that made me angry.
Yeah,
there's Game of Crone and Stranger Sins, which actually I like Stranger Sins. Stranger Sins.
Yeah, no, it's all the DLC is just like pop culture stuff.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a tiny build game. I fucking love tiny build games.
I don't know tiny build.
I'm trying to think what like a lot of people know them for Secret Neighbor or Hello Neighbor, whatever.
Oh, they made that?
They did make that. They also made way back in the day. They made Party Hard. They did The Final Station, which is fucking great. Fucking love that game.
I hate that game.
What I originally know them from is No Time to Explain.
They did Cluster Truck.
Wasn't that Devolver?
They also did Cluster Truck. Yeah, that's a good game.
Oh, I heard about Cluster Truck.
Cluster Truck is fucking amazing. I love that game. Have you heard about the ways that the devs fucked with streamers with it?
Yeah, actually that was how I found out it existed. They what was it? They left themselves a back door into everyone's game.
Well, that makes it sound so much more like invasive. It really just when you connected it to the Twitch API, they had commands that they could do that other audience members couldn't. So yes, but also no.
I thought that was so funny.
No, it's amazing. They did things like they would change the colors of everything. They would make all the trucks like super skinny or super wide. They would just let you fly. Like they just came in and fucked around. It was great. Huge fan. It's one of those things where I wish that they would open that up so that you could let the audience vote on that. I understand why they didn't because why would they? But
no, it would be a miserable existence.
But it would be very funny. What else did Landfall? The Landfall was the dev on Cluster Truck. They were the ones who did Stick Fight, Totally Accurate Battlegrounds, Totally Accurate Battlefield Simulator. They did Air Brawl. They're working on a new game so I follow them on TikTok, so I've been getting a lot of their game updates. They're working on a game right now that is I can't remember what the name of the working title of it is, but it's essentially just a game about running to the end of a level as fast as you can, using the terrain to like build up speed and then land properly. Oh, very much in the style. They said that one of their big influences was like the thing you used to do as a kid when you were sitting in the backseat of your car and like running along the street outside the window. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of idea of like building up, like jump, and then you do a little slide down the bit that's at the end, and then you come back up, like that kind of thing. Very cool. Looks very fun. Loving the idea so far. Very curious to see what it turns into.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a good project idea, and it's a team that's delivered several times on similar projects. So like that's a good, it's a good sign.
Yeah, exactly, and it's unique but not like completely outside their wheelhouse.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time. I mean, I really love specifically Cluster Truck and the way that it feels to play that kind of game where it's just like fluid movement.
Yeah, extremely.
It's like CS:GO surfing, but
on the back of trucks. Yeah, no, I wish there were more games that really like leaned into that too. Like there are some. Don't get me wrong, right? Like I understand there are some that do, but like there aren't that many. Get to the Orange Door would be the other one that I'd point to as like not exactly the same and not like the same thematically by any stretch, but more of an FPS fluid movement thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just feels good.
It feels amazing. Yeah,
it's like being a little forge ball in Halo, but with direction.
Yeah, it's very much like that, and it's a good game. I wish there were. I do. I wish there were more like it. I've gotten quite a bit of it, but I haven't. I don't think I've gotten every like achievement or anything. I haven't 100%ed it.
Yeah, I remember I played Cluster Truck, and I don't think I beat it. I played a large majority. There's a lot of levels in that game. I played all of it that I played though with no power ups and like no abilities or anything.
Yeah, I think I did too.
I just I remember that being an option, but I was like, I don't really want to like stop time or slow down time. I just want to. Why would I want time to slow down? I want this to be fluid and wavy.
You know what? I forgot slowing down time was its own power. I did do slow down time, but that's because I love the ability to like jump off the side of trucks in midair like consistently rather than having to get good.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
It was very cool. The slow motion led to a lot of really fun like literally like jumping off of the side of trucks and on top of trucks and using the bottoms of trucks to continue momentum while in midair, which always just felt rad. Didn't they have a super hot or like mode or side game or something?
Not that I'm aware of, but I can see it being a thing.
See, what did they call it? Yeah, it was literally called Super Truck. It was a free game that is exactly what it sounds like, where the trucks only move when you do, which is just fun. Side note, did neither of you played? Did either of you play Super Hot?
No.
A little bit before the big updates, though.
So,
and by the big updates, I mean I'm pretty sure I played like the beta release before it was officially like a full blown game.
Fair. I love the first Super Hot. I think it's great. I think it's a good time. The second one is just not as good.
Yeah.
And I really couldn't point to like what makes it bad, but I definitely didn't feel like I had as much fun with the second one as I did with the first. That said, did you guys ever fun little trivia piece? So at the very end of the game, there's a thing that happens that they eventually had to pull from the game, like the major story beat at the end of the game. They pulled it due to backlash. Spoilers for a game that's what, like 10, like not 10 years old. That's like
just
4 years old
say
now.
it, dude. It doesn't matter. They pulled it from the game. It doesn't matter.
Well, no. So in the original, like it's very much about like you don't have any control over yourself, and like you literally can't stop yourself from continuing to play the game and continuing to enter this like digital world or whatever. And the finale is that like even outside the game, you're seeing like the messages still flowing, and the finale is that you fucking shoot yourself in the head and become one with the system.
That's fucking weird, dude.
It's weird. It's weird, but I don't think it's necessarily wrong. Like I think it's a for the story that they were telling and the kind of like weirdness of the just the world itself. I think it makes sense, but it definitely like it's more weird to me that they then went back and took that out because I've not played.
It's not that weird,
but I don't think it's that weird. I think that portraying suicide as a positive ending is, while not inherently a bad thing to do, a really dangerous thing to do.
That's fair.
And can create a lot more problems than it can solutions, especially because there's other ways to end a story similarly. And the last thing you really want to do is, well, because of the story I'm trying to tell to, a group of people who are hot-blooded, usually young kids playing games that are fast-paced action games, who knows what kind of thoughts they're having. The last thing you want to do is encourage, be like, well, suicide's the good ending in this case. Like, that's not.
I mean, good really ending is. But I get your point. I get your point. But I think that it's definitely not portrayed as a positive thing.
Yeah,
but I think it does still lend yourself to the point though that like it is portrayed as like a necessary thing, which I think is almost worse.
Yeah, that's just
if enough people complained, it takes nothing for them to remove that part of the ending.
Yeah,
honestly, I'm pretty sure I watched a video essay about a guy who loves Super Hot and the second one especially.
Fair.
He has a better way of explaining it though, and I've never played it, but it just clicked now that I watched a video about the game. I don't know.
I wish I enjoyed the second one more, and that's not to say I didn't enjoy it. Like I still put like 8-9 hours into it, but like by the time I put 8-9 hours into it, that was the end of it. There was nothing left. But I mean, the first one had the same problem. First one only took like 10 hours to get everything done. I don't know. I just have like I haven't played it since 2020, so I wish I had like a more up-to-date take on it. But I just don't. I remember not enjoying the second one anywhere near as much. The reason I was bringing it up, the reason I was going for this, is that both Super Hot and Cluster Truck do something that I think is fucking rad, which is shows you at the end what your run looked like at like normal speed. Which in Cluster Truck is rad because if you're playing with slow-mo like I do, like you don't know how it looks from the outside. And in Super Hot, like you're playing a game at exactly the pace you set, And so it feels very cool to suddenly see yourself become like this Terminator-esque like super being for like the cutscene, as it were.
Yeah, no, it is fun. Just the base concept of the gameplay has always been like a really cool thing to me, and I don't know why I never reinstalled the game to play it.
I mean, I don't think it's wrong to have never reinstalled the game to play it.
I liked it is the problem. Like I had fun with it. I just never actually finished playing the game.
Yeah. I think it's like I think it has a little bit of like, I don't know. Because I also left it for a very long time and then came back to it, and I couldn't really tell you why.
But all that being said, I think it's a. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna ask if there was any games y'all were looking forward to in the next couple of months. Besides,
and I played the demo for I don't remember the name of it. Something Fallen Dynasty. It's like a Souls-like Neo-esque type of game. The demo seems pretty fun. I don't know if I'll play anymore or if I'll buy it. It seemed very busy, but that seems cool. It's coming out next year early, I think.
Long Fallen Dynasty.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I played that. It was fun. It was pretty fun. It was interesting. It was Souls-like, but more of a Neo-like, which is kind of strange because Neo was already a Souls-like, but
I don't know what Neo is in this context. Sorry.
A Souls-like.
Okay, well,
it's like a Dark Souls-inspired game.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the game either, so I was just kind of rolling with it.
Yeah, it's like a
Neo
Dark Souls-inspired, but NIOH.
Oh, Neo. Yeah.
Ah, fuck you.
No, I know the name. I know the name.
I said the name like 4 times, and then I said the name again, and he's like, "Oh, Neo."
I would have thought it was spelled Neo.
Yeah, no, I was.
Yeah, no, that spelling
isn't
the problem. No, the spelling wasn't the problem. It's the fact that you didn't get the spelling. That's not a problem at all. It's the fact that as soon as I spelled it, you're like, "Oh yeah, that Neo."
That's fair.
It's pronounced the exact same.
It's pronounced the same, but in my mind, I'm like, is this like some Matrixy game? What is this? And then I'm like, no, there's no Matrix game called Neo. Is this like a Deus Ex entry? No, wait. Also, Google autofill in Neo 2 is a farming game.
Nice.
Which, I mean, I guess is technically probably right, considering how Souls games go.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't think I've heard of this game. Like, I recognize the name and like thematically I recognize it, but I literally don't know anything about it.
Yeah, it seemed like it's pretty well received overall. It's kind of like Dark Souls inspired, but not in a way that is reductive and like boring. Is very much its own thing.
It seems almost like a more actiony RPG Dark Souls.
I wouldn't say necessarily more actiony, but more macro-y. Like there's more controls.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. More things you can do in any given moment.
Yeah, and it's like more level based, less of just like a one huge map that is like pre-rendered. I think it's more like level based, and it's a little more story driven in a way that's like conveyed to you. But yeah, it seems like it's a interesting game, and I think it's pretty cheap and pretty easy to get. So maybe I'll give it a try before Wo Long comes out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I enjoyed the demo. I think it was pretty cool. I just think it's a little busy for my taste. For $60, I don't know how busy I want to get.
Right.
That's fair.
But Neo is like 10 half the time, so maybe I'll pick that up, and if I love it, then I'll seek out more.
I was gonna say it's cheaper. I think it's literally on sale, the complete edition right now.
Yeah, it's on sale like once a day. It's crazy. It's one of those kind of games, kind of like a Borderlands situation where it's on sale more often than not.
I really love games that are like that. And then there's other games that never go on sale, but they really should, like every Call of Duty entry.
Any Nintendo game, most
games.
Yeah, it's really weird when games just refuse to ever go on sale, especially as somebody who like notoriously only ever buys games in sales. Although I've been, I will say, now that I have like a big boy job and like my own place, I've been a lot more willing to be like, nah, I can throw money at a dumb like $10, $20, $30, $40 game. It's fine. Like, whatever. I just won't like, I don't know, I'll buy less food this week. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like the perk of disposable income.
Yeah, it's really nice to have even like a hint of it. However, I have discovered that once I have a hint of it, I go mad with power and immediately just stop caring about it. Like I don't like dip into my savings and start blowing money there, but like I do just kind of spend money freely once I have it.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I'm pretty frugal overall. I don't. It takes a lot for me to like spend. That's just me.
I think my usual issue is I just treat myself to new food a little bit more frequently, and that's the problem.
That's extremely fair.
Food is like especially hard for me to spend money on.
And food is especially easy for me to spend money on.
Mine is definitely games. I'm like, oh, I can finally get all the DLC for this game that I've put 3 hours into, and the DLC doesn't come into play until hour 20. Because if I'm not playing a game with all the DLC, am I even really playing the finished game? No. The answer is no.
Yeah.
I mean, more power to you.
Am I part of the Am I part of the problem? Yes, absolutely.
I'm glad you know.
Speaking of money, great time to plug the Patreon.
No. Great time for us to wrap up.
Get out of here. Yeah, let's get out of here.